What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy and welcome back to a brand new video on the FPL preview for Game Week 24, where we look ahead and we think which players are going to score the biggest points, and we deliberate, and I think, yeah, those are it, and I mention them to you. It's a simple format, really, and I need a new way of explaining it because I can't think of one on the spot. I don't play my videos, and I don't write any scripts, so yeah. So, monotonous intro done. Check. Now let's go on to the goalkeepers. And the four goalkeepers we have for you today are De Gea in goal, Schmeichel in goal, Pickford in goal, and Kurtyoy. You may have guessed it as with the goalkeeper segment in goal. Now, De Gea is 5.9. Incredibly expensive. But away against Burnley, you'd expect him to get a few save points, potentially a clean sheet, and pick up about 8 to 9 points, I'd say. So, you know, you're looking at De Gea potentially getting a nice total. Schmeichel comes in also. It's fair to say Leicester have improved since Shakespeare was sacked, rightfully so. And Puel's come in, and I think if they can shore up the defence a bit, could be good. Against Watford, it's a bit of a risk, but I think Schmeichel's good at saving. He'll get a few save points in a 2 to 3-0 win to Leicester. Pickford's another one that could be improved recently, although Everton been in a bad run of form. I believe a home to West Brom should be an easy enough 3 points and a clean sheet as well. Same with Chelsea. Brighton are one of the most negative teams in the league, or one of the teams that are the worst going forward. So Chelsea, I think, attacking wise, could struggle in that game, maybe just the one goal or a 0-0, but they should definitely be looking at a clean sheet. Moving on to the Fantasy Tote Dream Team, which if you click the link down below, you can go against me and bet against me in picking your dream team for the week. It's simple, really. Pick a full 11-man team. You only have 3 players maximum from each club, and if your captain scores good points, he gets double points. If he scores bad points, he gets double points. Basically, he gets double points. But my team for this coming game week is Kurtyoy in goal, Azpilicueta, Alonso and Robertson at the back. Then 5 across the midfield, Mane, Sigurdsson, Pogba, Lanzini and Sterling, with Aguero and Everton no boy, a bit of a risk here. Cenk Tosun. I don't know how to say his name. Tosun. Cenk Tosun, let's go with that, because I just realised it's not Tosun. Cenk Tosun up front. I think it's a strong looking team. I think that it's very heavy at the back for Chelsea, but I can't see Brighton scoring. However, they're probably going to go win 5-0 now, but I should think that's 3 easy clean sheet points. Again, I can't see Swansea scoring, especially under Carvalho's management. I'm a Wednesday fan. I know he manages those sort of games, and I think it might be a 1 to 2-0 win to Liverpool. I think Man City will score goals like they usually do. The midfielders across the midfield, Lanzini should get a few points. He's my captain this week, so fingers crossed he does alright. Pogba, Sigurdsson and Mane also should get a decent amount of points. And Tosun's a bit of a risk, which I don't fancy Alan Pardew's teams to do well. That being said, if you fancy your chances of beating me, click the link down below and let's see what you can do. Moving on to the defenders, you've got Alonso, Bellerin, Danilo, Aurier, Williams and Robertson. Alonso comes in a whopping price of 7.2. Again, I think clean sheet. I think any Chelsea defender you know is going to play, put him in, gets a clean sheet, move on. Alonso, though, you know, we've seen it when the 1-0 win against Southampton. He can take free kicks all right, and I do think he's one to definitely look out for. Bellerin also at 6.1 scored a goal in a 2-1 defeat. Looking at the game this week, home against Palace, could get a clean sheet, also get on the action. I think Bellerin's having a really good run of form at the moment, and hopefully getting a more attacking returns. You've got Danilo as well. Delph probably, I hope, at least now saying that, is going to be out for the next game, so Danilo will probably sit in at left back, and I think they could get a clean sheet and maybe even attacking returns, who knows. You've also got Aurier there, seems to be the first choice, although the last couple of games seems to be Aurier and Davis, the favoured on each side. But Aurier at 5.9, I think, looking at the game they've got, easily beat Southampton and should get a clean sheet as well. Having said that, it was quite the firefest when they met. I was about to say White Lane, but it's Wembley. You've got Williams in there as well. I think it's a bit of a risky choice. Hasn't had the season he'd wanted, but I think at home against West Brom could get in on the action from a corner, let's say maybe. But I think she'd be looking at a clean sheet as well. Andy Robertson having quite a good run in left back, and I do think he's played quite well there. And playing up against Swansea, I think he could get some attacking returns potentially. If not, tidy clean sheet, 4.7 as well. Can't go wrong. Moving on to the Fancy Tote 5-a-side. This is where you pick out one of their featured fixtures, bet against it, and see basically if you can get the best 5-a-side team from all the players on that team. I've not really any derbies this game week. I've gone for Swansea versus Liverpool. Got a connection with Carlos Carvalhal. I do still wish all the best. I do think Swansea will still stay up. I do think they'll lose this game though. But Swansea versus Liverpool, who have I gone with? Well, my captain is Mane, so he plays. But going from the bottom to the top, I've got Fabianski in goal. I've got Robertson at the back. I've got Salah and Mane in the midfield with Ayew up front. Now, I wasn't sure. I knew Fabianski had to be in goal because he's going to get a few save points in this game, I believe. And I wasn't sure where to have the second Swansea player, because you have to have 2 from one team and 3 from the other. And I thought Ayew's the best bet because I think attacking returns, Firmino, Salah and Mane are not all going to get big results if I'm going to predict a 1-0 or a 2-0. And he's probably the most likely to score out of all the players, so I've got him for him as well. As in Mane captain, with Salah in the field, Robertson at the back, because I do think a clean sheet and potential attacking returns is there. I just generally think they're a good 5-a-side team. Moving on to midfield, you've got Sterling, Lanzini, Sigurdsson, Mahrez, Mane and Pogba. Sterling, not the best of games at Liverpool. I think it got to his head a bit, but if we know Pep, he's probably going to be dropped for the rest of the season, because that's, all joking aside though, I do think it's just a one-off game. Sterling's been fantastic this season. Shouldn't be enough to keep him out of the team for the weekend at late kickoff against Newcastle. But I do think Sterling's one of the better players, and he should be getting some attacking returns again if he starts. Fingers crossed. You got Lanzini in there as well, cheaper than Arnautovic, and I think long term more consistent than Arnautovic, providing he doesn't leave for Liverpool, which I don't think he will at the moment. 6.8 million is a really good bet for a player of his quality at a club like West Ham. Sigurdsson at 8 million is again a risk. As I said, Tosun's in my team, so you can probably guess he's going to be up for, in the strikers section. Sigurdsson's a risk, but I do think West Ham will sit back, try to contain and maybe get a draw from the game. But a player like Sigurdsson, he has dead ball specialist written all over him. If anyone's going to break down a team like that, it'll be Gylfi Sigurdsson. Mahrez at 8.6 is another good shout. Leicester face off against Watford, and I do think Watford, they can score goals, they also can concede goals. I think Mahrez, as far as breaking down defences goes, he's one of the best at it. You also got Mane at 9.3. I do think maybe Mane over than Salah, who's almost $1 million more expensive, and Pogba, because it's Pogba. Following on from that, we have the Star Club and Star Player from the Fancy Tote website. Again, this is a part where you just pick the highest point scoring player you believe and the highest point scoring team altogether you believe. And this week I've gone with team wise Chelsea and player wise Azpilicueta, because I'm determined to get Azpilicueta to win me this one game week. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't know anyone, so I thought I'd go with my safe bet. Who's not going to win? Azpilicueta. Basically, that is that. I've not really got much else to explain about that. I think Chelsea will get a clean sheet, couple of goals, and should be looking good there. I do think Azpilicueta, again, clean sheet, maybe in a couple of assists, who knows. But, that's it really. That's all I can't really explain. I don't really know who to go with, so I've gone with them. Sorted. Lastly, you've got the attackers. We've got Aguero, Tosun, Firmino, Vardy and Wilson. Let's go through this pretty quickly because I think I've done quite a lot of chattering today. Aguero 11.7, Man City face off against Newcastle. The late kick-off on Saturday, and I do believe Aguero will get at least some attacking returns, so safe again for Sergio Aguero, albeit it was only assist against Liverpool. St. Tosun, Everton against West Brom. I do think it's a coming-of-age game for St. Tosun, albeit in his second game. Coming of age is a bit early, but hey ho, I think he's going to score, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, get him in your team if you fancy a risk. Firmino 9.2, although he wasn't in my team, I do think he's going to get some attacking returns. But I did think, maybe just a goal or assist, whereas Mane and Salah, they're more likely to. So Firmino is still a good bet, and even throughout the rest of the season, he's still a really good bet and scored a lot of goals and assists this season. Also got Vardy at 8.5, just 0.1 million cheaper than Mahrez. And I do think both of them will get attacking returns against Watford, so both of them are good to have in your team. And finally, Wilson. I was facing a tough choice for the fifth one because I didn't really know who to pick. And I thought Wilson because they've got injury problems up front, for one. And for second reason, quite simply, he's in good form. And Bournemouth against West Ham, I do think could be another goal fest. It was 3-3 earlier on this season, so why not make it 3-3 again? And that happens to be that for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of any of my picks and also my fancy tote teams, which you can check out on the link down below. And let me know all that in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't said that already, because I forget things. Yeah, but adios, I suppose. See you later.